As Alexander Stewart noted, this latest paper shows that the SNP are still wasting time imagining that what they would do had they won the 2014 independence referendum almost 10 years ago. In 2014, the people of Scotland voted democratically to remain in the UK. Yet, the SNP are continuing to use precious time in this chamber to, as Willie Rennie and Stephen Kerr rightly put, bore us with independence papers and continue forward with their agenda. This is Scotland's People's Parliament, not the SNP party conference. Alex Rowley rightly outlined concern that we have been called to this chamber time and time again to discuss the SNP's constitutional obsession. Many colleagues across the chamber, including Neil Beebe and Craig Hoy, outlined the valuable time spent in this parliament which could have been spent on productive discussions to improve the lives of people in Scotland now. People who are struggling with the cost of living crisis, housing crisis and NHS crisis, to name but few. Deputy Presiding Officer, it is important that we see an outward-looking Scotland playing its role in the world. As Ivan McKay and others outlined, Scotland is renowned internationally, so we must focus on what Scotland can do now to continue this legacy. The independence papers have failed to adequately address even the big unanswered questions such as currency, the border, or the economic case for independence. If they have failed to do even detail these big questions, how could they deliver on the massive amount of capacity building that would be required for an independent Scotland in areas such as defence, intelligence and security? I'm sorry, I won't be taking interventions because you guys had so many debates in this parliament. I've got a lot to go through. It's wasting taxpayers' money. Let me get my points, and because you guys had millions of debates and probably.
Mr. Chair, I'm not entirely sure that you guys is the exact way that Mr. Chair, I'm speaking. So
sorry.
I'm just not entirely sure that the phrase "you guys" to refer to your colleagues is exactly within the keeping of the tenets of courtesy and respect. Thank you.
Apologies to members. Capabilities which Scotland already enjoys as part of the UK. The Scottish Government motion talks about Scotland acting in the interest of its people. In this increasingly turbulent geopolitical situation, Scotland needs to remain as an existing member of NATO as part of the UK, instead of serving those connections and trying to build them from scratch. The Scottish Government should instead be focusing on the detail of how to improve Scotland's on the world stage, now by working closely with the UK Government and engaging with the international partners to build cultural and economic connections. It should be working closely with the UK Government to sell brand Scotland around the world, marketing Scotland's unique contribution and innovation to facilitate trade and tourism for Scotland. Deputy Presiding Officer, it is no doubt important that Scotland plays a role on the world stage, as the Cabinet Secretary outlined. Building relationship with global partners can increase opportunities for tourism and trade. It can refrain that Scotland is committed to working with others towards important shared goals such as sustainability and tackling climate change. Indeed, as a convener of the CPG on Bangladesh, myself, Miles Briggs MSP and Evelyn Tweed MSP travelled to Bangladesh last year, where we discussed the importance of knowledge and skill sharing amongst global nations on issues of importance such as climate justice. And I refer members to my register of interest. This trip showed that there is so much which can be done now to develop this relationship and increase benefits for Scotland in the current climate. Our time in the Chamber should support the will of the electorate and find ways to improve offering for the Scottish people with Scotland as part of the UK. We should honour that democratic decision and find ways for Scotland to benefit from the defensive, diplomatic and economic connections it shares with the rest of the UK. Deputy Presiding Officer, whilst the SNP Green Government continues to use the Scottish Parliament's time and Scottish taxpayers' money to talk about their fantasy scenario, Scottish Labour stands ready to deliver for Scotland in line with the people's democratic will and improve Scotland's standing at home and on the world stage. Thank you.